We're touching on some topics today because it's not okay when you disrespect women and when you display behavior the way that your man Adrien Broner did. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that, and it ain't even no skit. It ain't even no substance. It's just abuse of power. That's why y'all can't trust these celebrity gossip and all of these entertainers that's gonna try to cloud your mind and your judgment. They're not doing you no favors, man. You gotta come to where you can get the good, you can get the, you know what I'm saying, the positive, the love, the energy that's gonna take you above, and beyond. And you can understand, because we understood that that's unacceptable. When you put your hands on a woman or you do disrespect or anything like that, that intellect and that mindset ain't gonna get you nowhere. It's a trap. You know what I'm saying? It's a trick. Like if she rejected him in a polite way, it shouldn't be no issue. Like I never understand dudes like that wanna blow up and clash and wanna argue with everybody, because they feel like their feelings is not taken seriously or they feel less of a man. And it's like, nah, that's a part of, life. You're not gonna always wanna be in the right. You know what I'm saying? It's about how you handle it. When the other side of the coin now, it's your time to perform. You're gonna be a man or a boy. It's not hard to choose to walk away or to ask somebody to leave your space calmly, politely, the same way that they did you, that you would want to your loved ones or anybody who you feel you protect or you represent out here in this world. You will want them to treat them with the utmost respect, like your baby girl. So respect women and teach your boys and teach, the men around you how to make the right decisions and choices to, you know, comprehend and how to engage when you're in the presence of a real woman because they would never let you treat them like that in the first place. If that's how you act. Like you showing the whole world your ass because you couldn't accept a simple no. So now you got to sit up here and put up all of these antics. Man, you got to grow up. Like you obviously using some narcotics or you drinking or something. He off the drink. You know what I'm saying? So, but that ain't no excuse for his behavior to do what he did with Shorty and up there with them kids and them young boys. Like they don't need to be watching that because this, I mean, that's garbage. That's trash. You know what I'm saying? And we acknowledge that, so we would never treat women like that because that's not in our character. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not even in our persona. So you gotta really move forward and be positive and not lower yourself down to the negative and now you got no self control. You just you go blow up all over the place, all over social media. And now look at your face, your kids, your daughters, you know what I'm saying, your family, your mother gotta see you act like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta grow up, man. You gotta really man up, put your pants up, dog. Like that's not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be tolerated. Nor should women tolerate that. So, we not going let that slide or let anybody get away or get by and try to act like you justifying crackhead behavior. Nah, like you a witness, you got to be a testament and understand that it's a test. So you got to understand the test to it and get the knowledge to cope and go through it, man, and solve the puzzle instead of losing your mind and using your muscle against a woman, which you would have never did with a man because he would have put you in your place You know what I'm saying? And had you got in his face like that or reacted, like all of that was unnecessary and it's unattractive, like the behavior and the mindset, because you want to try to use your assets or your money, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have no personality, you don't have no real, you don't have no story. Like your background is just, it's a mystery, you know, your character, because your history you've been hiding your whole life instead of being honest and open with the people and really showing who he is as an influencer. Like you're not doing good things, you a pig, you know what I'm saying? And you trying to be a bull to a woman, now you a bully, you all over the blog, you know, looking like a clown, and you know what I'm saying? When you in the hood, you calm, you know what I'm saying? You relax. You never do that with one of their sisters or anything like that, the home girl. So why you treat Shorty like she just, you know what I'm saying, some baddie chick that you met off, whatever, like even if that's the case, you could have still did better, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta face it out here, man. You out here playing, making people look like a certain way and trying to say, you know, you sorry or you know what I'm saying, just go your separate way. Instead of doing that, now you want to sit up here and play big and bad and you gonna do this and do that and you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you been washed up for how many years? Nobody looks at you. Like you gotta eat off the young boy stream and try to get his followers and get your following up. Know what I mean? Because you know nobody will even notice who he is or you know what I'm saying, how big he got. Dude just walk around looking like Santa Claus, big ass stomach like this. I'm AB. Who wanna go with me in the world? And you looking like a clown, like it's really sad, man, how you giving it up, man. Like you used to be the man, homie. What happened to you? I get the sickest vendetta when they come at each other. It's sick. It's disgusting your behavior towards women, and we won't tolerate it. Or anytime or anybody, other celebrities, we don't care. We're not scared of y'all. Because we get busy too. We come from that. We from the streets and everything. And we grew up, but we always protected the women. You know, that was always the message. You know what I'm saying? Like, we dudes is reckless now, and you don't even think to how it's going to look to the world when you get on these platforms and you trying to demoralize a girl or female. It's like, you're not gonna win. You know what I'm saying? It's silly. Like from the beginning. And now you mess around, you catch a charge, you know, you get a lawsuit over that, and you're gonna be sick too. Cause that's me too right there. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what that whole thing is about. So we understand the dudes and the people who go that route and who act slick and try to, you know, get behind closed doors and want to be the boogeyman. And then when they get their ass on a viral moment, and then they understand, oh shit, you should have planned, you know, to be a lot better. You should have trained yourself, your mind, to have more discipline the same way you do with your body. It's not just a mental or physical, you know, it's a whole, your spirit is just thirsty. You know what I'm saying? And now you looking like a clown, you going up there and your whole career about to go down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talking about AB right now, man. Adrien Broner. He sat up there and went at Shorty, you know what I'm saying, all on the stream, crazy. And, you know what I'm saying, now they trying to pay him a deal. And it's like he still ain't come out and apologize and been a real man and say, you know what, I messed up or, you know what I'm saying, anything. Like, so you just gonna sit up here and justify that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we looking for. That's what we protesting. You know, we putting the message out there for the people to say AB ain't right. He ain't for the people if he gonna act like that and not come out and say, anything back to uplift those ladies and all of those women that he hurt when the way he acted towards her just because he got a little paper or you know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna let it slide in the community no more. Like we going after these guys. They think they got power, but it's us. We the ones who built this up and got the community to where it's at. So we still got to get it back. You know what I'm saying? The real man, we got to step up and we got to say we're gonna put an end to that. Or anybody who behaves in these ways to destruct and destroy. You got to behave, man. And we're not gonna employ. We're not gonna avoid any bully. We're gonna meet them head on. Full up, and we're gonna see about that because it's a wrap for that. Like. You gotta let people make their own decisions and choices, man. You can't just try to intrude and, force your way to do what it is that you want people to do. Not, we ain't gonna go for that. We ain't gonna be the ones to be your patsies or be your backseat. Whatever they think, they gonna get over on us. And we just gonna sit by and let our women be terrorized and, treated like trash, basically. You know, we gonna correct that ass. We coming for them. They see that, you know what I'm saying? So they're gonna hide, they're gonna act like they ain't surprised when we doing them pull ups. And we gotta pop out in the right way, you know what I'm saying? And I'm working out, but I ain't talking about the gym when I say we gonna be pulling up on their ass. They do that again and be treating these women like, you know, they ain't their friends or because we ain't playing with the family, you know what I'm saying? We staying strictly to the code, old school. That's how we roll, man. That's how we gotta go every time. We gotta bow our heads and say our grace. Because at the end of the day, that's a disgrace the way they be acting, man. Up there, you know what I'm saying? Like, getting in the shorty face and yelling and screaming and doing all of that demon time. You ain't do that with your man with Floyd and all of them was rolling up on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You was popping panicky then. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to be a player hater now, brother. We see how you getting down up there. That's clown shit. We gonna hold you accountable every time. You ain't sliding not nowhere. Cause when we find you, they might not found dude again. You know what I'm saying, family? Dudes get lost for the way they acting when they treating our women like that, man. Real get you mad and it'll get you angry. You know what I'm saying? You be uptight. And when you catch a case any day, every night is the day. Because we will replace your ass. You start acting a fool. You won't last forever, dude. You can't hide. You gotta come outside one way or another. You know what I'm saying? These streams, these ain't the only thing that they're gonna put that belt up on your ass. AB. They'll get the belt, AB. Get your ass up out of here. We gonna rock you to sleep. Smile for the camera, nigga. And obviously you didn't learn from the first one. And you got touched. And you can get touched. Because anybody can get touched. And we putting whips on these slaves out here, man. We putting belts to ass for real, nigga. Whipping them like a slave, like Rodney. You gonna pay up for the way you acting, man. You know what I'm saying? Get that ass laid up, boy, like a basketball player. Thinking that you bigger than the program. Nobody bigger than the program, man. No big U's, no little eyes, bro. You know what I'm saying? We won't lose. Like, We coming for it. We got the views, we got the source. It's all here, like, you know what I'm saying? This shit, we getting prepared to take off, man. 'Cause we never neutral, man. It's like the Migos. We taking off, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We suitable for the cause and we rise above to the occasion, man, for the ones that's lost and the frustrated, the demon time. Yeah, we trying to solve all their problems one day at a time. It's the rising day. The zombies is here, nigga. So we come out, hit them in the head with the headshot. Boom! Niggas is popping off. We won't lose, you know what I'm saying? We coming through live, and in fact, we got the action. You see, we got the traction, it's rolling. We coming through rocking every day. You know, they popping in us. They watching us. Uncle Sam, he want a piece of that ass. I understand. They on that Boston Richie, huh? I got you, fam. Listen, man, moral of the story, man, treat women with high respect and regard because, listen, man, it's not worth it to go on another level. And just because she rejects you, now you want to sit up here and act like it's a problem. You know, it shouldn't be that way. They should have their own choices and decision to make, just like everybody else got their own choices and decisions to make. So make it wisely and choose wisely the company that you keep around you, because that'll be the biggest mistake and decision you ever make in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, get caught up in a scandal now. Now you scrambling to try to save face in your career, but it's too late in the game because we already see who you appear to be in the beginning. Your character is now going to be judged and challenged. It don't matter what you did everything right before. Till that point and moment on, you're done. So don't disrespect women at all, man. Your mother, love them. Your sister, your aunt, anything, your girl, your wife. Because one day you might have a daughter. One day you might have kids, or you might already do. And you wouldn't want nobody to treat them like that either way, too. You know what I'm saying? So don't even engage if you're not going to respond in a way to be positive. Just walk away. Everybody got the choice to walk away. That's the first decision you gotta make before you get in trouble, before you end up in jail, before you gotta pay a bill, before you end up in a hospital, or before you lose your life. Now, if you walk away and you still lose your life, hey, it could happen. But at least you chose what you wanted to do in the mindset that you had to be the bigger person. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it affect you and keep you down. You gotta stay positive, man. Positivity is gonna hold you up and it's gonna keep you above and keep you from drowning in that tub, man. Because we all in the pool one way or another. But you gotta think or swim and stay above the enemy because they wanna tear you up, they wanna see you self-destruct, tear you down. But you're not even gonna think about the negatives because we're too positive to even go back to that route. And we just taking everybody else out that we can with us to understand the plan that we won't give up. We all stand together, united we stand, divided we fall, and that's the easiest way to put it. We all got to go through it together. You know what I'm saying? So love thy neighbor, love the women and the children, and then great things will come. The universe will align one way or another. Right now, it's just out of pocket. It's too much going on in the world to where we see it's not normal. Nobody wants to stop it. Nobody wants to speak out against the dangers that they gotta face every day coming home and going to work because they just want things to stay stagnant. They don't want it to get better. They won't brag about that, about not having to go back or go in or come out. You know, they won't tell you about The times when it's lonely and it's going to be no one there to protect you, and you all on your own 2 feet. And anything that projects or jumps out, you got to deal with that on your own too, because you're the only one that you can depend on is you. You can't blame nobody. There's nobody to blame. You got to take everything by yourself. That's the only way. Nobody else. So when those times come, now you're prepared because if nobody else is, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stick to it because I don't have to diverge from anything else but the truth. It's what it is. This is how we all gotta live. You know, you gotta give your all in the universe. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to spoil your blessings by falling back and relaxing too much and letting time kick you in the ass. And now you don't even have enough. You don't even know what's like. You don't even have a plan because you done stressed your whole life just trying to understand why nobody else will be there for you in the struggle. But understand that's just the way things are built in today's society. And you got to do and handle and go through it however it is that you're going to handle it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be a man through it over. Like, that's just how we going to leave it, right there. And be prepared for any falls. But you got to get up. As long as you do, then the truth is what it is, man. You understand. You understood the assignment. That's the plan. Get up. Don't stay down. Don't procrastinate. Take the right measures and precautions to get to the goal. Don't be lost in time and stuck in your feelings, man. Get to the grind, get to the bag, get to the paper, get to it now. Because it ain't gonna last, man. Once you stand up and you stay on your square, you stand right here and you say, I'm gonna handle it, God. Give it to me. I want it. I'm not gonna divide, I'm not gonna miss it, I'm not gonna wait on it. I'm gonna take the opportunity, I'm gonna take the chance to stand up and stand against what I see is wrong for too long. I'm too strong not to. I'm too grown to let anything take me down and hold me from being who I am and taking now. Forget waiting for next and then getting in line. You step to the plate and you gotta swing that bat and you hit a home run and you make it on your own because you got the potential. You got the format and the utensils to eat. All you needed was the table, but nobody wanted to hand you a plate. So you went and made your own food and you ate great and you getting fat now. So now they want to get a plate of yours. But you like, yo, you not lost. You got a lost cause. You had something to say all along, but they just wasn't listening. And now it's going over their head because you came with so much motivation and inspiration. They couldn't help but get the word on this weekend. It's Saturday, word. We gotta go hard every day. You gotta work out like it's your last. You know what I'm saying? You gotta meditate. You gotta think past go. What's the next move? What's the solution? How we gonna grow? How we gonna make more income? How we gonna put each other to the test to take care of one another in respect and love? How we gonna rise above to the occasion and deny the negative situations that we may face? That's how you gotta think. How we gonna think like that? It ain't a debate on where we going or where we at or where we came from, but we knowing that we could be greater You know what I'm saying? And keep moving. That's what I do now. As a unit, yes. Because if you're doing it alone, you're gonna face it. It's a beast. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to beat it mentally, physically. You gotta be able to study it. You gotta be able to approach it humbly, forcefully. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to just embrace yourself as well. Because you can be your own worst enemy. You know, anybody can tell you that. It's never too late though, to turn things around and make it greater, make it positive, you know what I'm saying? And be a king to your kingdom, to your community, to the women, because they are the ones who are gonna raise your children one day. So you gotta accept and you gotta acknowledge that it's not all about us, but it's about we as a team and not I or you and what we bring to the table to connect. We able to be greater in the universe and respect each other and show love the best way that we can because we know that sometimes we don't always think for the land and the laws and the behaviors because we just want to do what we want to do. But sometimes you got to understand how miserable it is when you're just so selfish that you can't give a next person the opportunity to get over the hump and the hurdles and the information to understand what can hurt you and what can lay into your demise over time if you're not aware or astute, you know. If you don't have a group, if you don't have a family, if you don't have a tribe, and you're just by yourself, how mentally it break you down being in the street, you know what I'm saying? And it eats away at you. It's like a anemia or some kind of a phobia. You know what I'm saying? It's like a tranquilizer. It just neutralizes you. And now you're just in a state of, stupidness and egotistic. And you got to look at that man in the mirror sometimes. You got to understand that, you know, it begins to get clearer when you let the feedback, you let the critique, you let the things that people speak and say sink in. And you let the knowledge and the experience add up to a win instead of all of the losses and the divorce and the divide that they're causing and that they want us to collide and clash because it's all just a mask that they want to cover and blind the people and keep us from seeing the real truth, the evil, how it's not really equal, but we just pretend to be. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not enemies, but they enemies of the state. They want to see the Smith and Wesson to your face and blow your brains out. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But we ain't going out. Because all we're going to do is go up this year. And we ain't stopping. Because we know what's up and we know it's clear. We see the tunnel. We got the vision. We got the family. We got the attention. We got the viralness. We got the fire to the fuel. And we ain't hiding this. We got it. We know the truth. We know the spirit. The youth sees things and people sometimes that adults can't see because they're special in their own right and they know good from bad just from having the intuition and the innocence, from the character of God, the spirit of Jesus, all of these things. We have to be fair, and understand why we are here because He brought you here today to see the real in me. And I want to see the real in you. You know what I'm saying? Because these real characters out here that we can reach every day and be fruitful and truthful. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way that we want to live our legacy and we want to lead our people. And that's, we tired of seeing, the devastation and the trauma. We understanding the drama and why people are frustrated over resources. But it's so meager, it's like there's no reason to keep getting lost in these traps because it's too much out there for us to collect. Don't relax, pick yourself up, pick your brother up, pick your neighbor up, pick your sister up. We gotta pick the women up. We all gotta pick each other up instead of always clowning and dividing and just jonesing on each other. We always want to dump on each other quick, but when we gonna love each other to see how quick they do that, how quick they show genuine, growth and genuine, like just attention, support, things that's free, that's not really taught, but it's taught because you get it from whoever you learn or whoever you got around you, but it's not one way. But nobody could just show it because everybody playing defense. So now when it comes to the offense, it's like hands up. They don't even know how to be this way anymore. You just want to be negative and you just want to be neutral. And it's like you got to do something. Somebody got to do something to try and, you know, rebuttal and battle the ugly side of it and the dark side of it that they do and what we do. When you hold it back, when you hold it with that fire or that fuel, you got to find a way to let it out and transfer the energy. You know what I'm saying? To put yourself in a route and put your mind in a better place in the time that we're in because every day you're facing it, you're looking at the news, you're chasing it, you're trying to break the story, you're trying to do what you see the big YouTubers and everybody else bring to the table because you got glory, you got fame, you got power. You remain one of them dudes, your name still ring bells. They know who I am, they know the face, they see all of the physique and everything that I'm coming with. So it's a treat for them at the end of the day when I speak and I bring my wisdom and I'm leading, what I'm saying, the kingdom right now. Like this is kingdom come. Everybody come over here because they know it's boring. These niggas don't got nothing going on the way I'm on here performing and I'm putting on a show every day, same time. I'm so consistent. Like you got to think how I'm learning and how I'm using the weapons of YouTubians and the service I'm providing to give people the strength to be provided with and acknowledgement. Because I ain't go to college, I ain't have a scholarship, but I still had to read, I still had to teach and be equipped with the weapons to preach to the people and give y'all the second thoughts of the word that's living and coming through me, through the spirits that they brought. And I'm uplifting, you know what I'm saying? I'm motivating. Like it's treacherous the way that I'm able to change and shift my own body and make it into a sculpture and a masterpiece. But I can also do it for other people that I train, everybody that I touch that come around me. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm bringing and how I'm even helping them feel better by showing them the ways I cook and the way that I train and the way that I look and I show up and I have the attitude to just, show gratitude and positivity anywhere I'm at, anything I do, because it's not fake. This is just the real. This is just who I am and how I perform when I come through. And I'm showing people, the awesomeness of how I draw the crowd and I use my voice, you know what I'm saying, to teach and how I put the thumbnails with the descriptions and everything else in the chats because they see how I just keep coming back. Like I don't never stop. You know what I'm saying? I don't never fall into the trap because my mind is just so advanced that I could talk for hours and I could dance. You know what I'm saying? Like I could work out. You know what I'm saying? Study whatever. Show you how to bodybuilding, how to bulk, how to move. All of that because that's how I choose to do what I do when I stay and when I kick it and how I'm, living because I'm seeing how things is being done in a way, but they gatekeeping. They locking dudes out left and right, blocking you from even entering and being who you know you could be and getting to the cream and to the block. You know what I'm saying? They want to be holding it for themselves and be the only ones able to give the messages and be able to tell who's better than who or who's doing what. It's like, nah, they cutting dudes out. Like they cutting people in and they got certain plants that they want to give advances and chances to everybody else. We just want to be able to keep them at their own little levels. They don't want to let people rise. So this is when we see all of the infight, when we see all of the minds and the despise of the demons, 'cause that's how they giving it up. That's how they do it. So I'm just telling the truth, man. We keeping it right down. We're gonna be back on probably later on, so we're moving around now. Appreciate y'all coming through for the time being. You already know how we move. We getting them peaks when we getting the retention. And we gonna see it. It's 2026. They can't beat it. They can't beat us, man. We working together and we do what we gotta do. They can't defeat it. And we gonna win. And once again, I'll be back on there later on. So be on the lookout for your boys. Holla at me.